Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am your host, the most famous YouTuber in the world that no one has ever heard of. Alright, we have approximately 28 gallons of water in there. It doesn't quite cover the top, but I think that's just going to make it a little more dramatic when I pull it out. You'll be able to see the before and after. I've got the battery charger hooked up. I did add some washing soda right there. I'm going to take a look and see what happens here. I'm hoping that this bucket doesn't burst because that would wash everything in here. I've got negative on the part. I've got positive on the sacrifice. And then I ran another wire around to another plate on this side. And I added more baking soda. And now we're at 3.5 amps. The bubbling is picked up a little bit. Hopefully I got the wires going the right way. We're going to see. It's going to be a few hours or maybe a couple of days. We'll see how it turns out. Okay, a little update. We are now 4 or 5 hours in. Thankfully the tub has not exploded, because that was a real concern. I had to put a ratchet strap on it. You can see or not? Let's see. Yep. That blue, that's a ratchet strap. And my creeper is keeping that. That top edge broke, and I shoved the creeper behind it, and then I put the ratchet strap on. So we had a little bit of drama. This is what it looks like. It is still bubbling. We're still at 3.5 amps. I'll let this go for the rest of the night. I'll come down tomorrow and we'll pull it out, take a look at it, see if it's clean. I definitely need a bigger tank. Here's what it looks like right out of the box. With that scum layer on there. I think I'm going to take it over and hit it with the hose. We've got a little bit of gook still here, but it comes off fairly easy. Still got a little bit of gook in here. I think I'm going to put this back and let it go another day. I still see rust on the threads. This is looking better. The whole thing's looking better, but this one we can probably take off. This one still needs to cook a little bit more. And I want to do the pedals too. Back in the goo. Back in the goo. Left this in the tank for 2 days and we have this result. It doesn't look any different than it did when I first put it in there, with the exception of here. This is quite a bit cleaner than it was, but the rest of it, I am not happy with that result. Looks like this was repaired at one point. Welded back on. I'm not sure it got in there at all. This is what it does to the to the sacrificial metal. Looks like blew up some of the coating. Oh, there's a hole right through. So I will scrape this down, and we're gonna put this back in the tank. I am going to upgrade my tank though. I did not like the flimsiness. Honestly, I expected to come out here and find it all on the floor, which would not be good. So, all right, let me get this set up. New setup and some drama. Turn the water on the hose, and of course, out it came. New setup, a little stronger being round. Still too small for this part, but I got it in nose first. Well, tail down, I guess. This would be the front. Now we've got 3/4 of an amp going in there, and I have not put any electrolytes in yet. So I thought it might be fun if I can get the amp gauge, the camera, and the everything in the same view here. Alright, we're going to throw some of this in. Watch this. Did it move? It's going up now. Up a little. We're at what? About amp and a half now? Well, no, maybe an amp. Well, that's all the baking soda I have. Is it going up? I also have some washing soda, so let's add that in. Oh, we're getting there. What are we up to now? Just over 2 amps. Okay, I guess it's going to take a while. I'm going to leave this in here for a few days, I guess. Hopefully it won't leak. It's a brand new sheet of plywood there that got splashed with the hose. Okay, it's day 6. Time kind of got away from me. Let's pull it out and see what happened. This is the sacrificed metal. It's bad. Okay, there's the water line. And I wanted to go over this and show you, this is this after it's dried off. It's like we got a little bit of, I don't know if that's paint or what. This right here, I'm going with it was not worth putting it in there for 3 days. I mean 6 days. Because this is horrible. This is not derusted. This is not flash rust after. It did clean out those threads, so that it did a good job on these. Okay, so this is steel. The nuts are steel. It did a good job on those. It did not do a good job on that. It did free up this nut, which probably had grease under it. But it did not do the bulk of it. I'm still going to have to go over this whole thing with a wire wheel. And it's just, I'm disappointed. So this still flaking off. Pedals. I mean, yeah, the rust on the pedals is coming off, but it's not getting down to bare metal. This is the piece that we polished up with the sandpaper before we put it in there. Yeah, I'm not seeing this as a benefit. I think going forward, the best way to do something like this is going to be sandblasting. Now the engine block itself, that's another matter because it's got internal passages and Babbitt bearings. But 6 days in an electrolysis tank, cranking out between 1.5 amps to 4 amps at 12 volts. I'm just not seeing it. I'm not seeing the benefit here. So next video we'll be tearing this down completely. I'll probably clean it up off camera because that's boring, but we'll tear it all down and we'll rebuild it and make it somewhere close to the way it was when it was new. There's not a lot I'm going to be able to do with the pock marks, like right here. I'm going to have to do this to the entire thing, and then it's still rough. But we can definitely make it look better, and we can make it work like it was brand new. Right here. There's no way I'm going to get those pock marks out. But all part of the game, I guess. I am pleased with the nuts. Maybe this is a good process for nuts and bolts, because these were not going to come off before, and they look like they could be able to just turn them right off, no problem. This one, the cotter pin, didn't help me with that. Didn't help me with that rivet. Yeah, I'm going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. So stay tuned. I'm going to get this cleaned up, and then we're going to start tearing it down and rebuilding it. So that will be a video on how to restore the hogshead, not just electrolysis, because that clearly did not work.